Have you ever felt the sting of betrayal in a relationship, leaving you questioning your self-worth and trust in love? Infidelity isn't just about broken promises. It cuts deep, leaving emotional scars that last long after the act itself. In this video, we'll explore the profound lessons learned from one woman's life journey through the pain of infidelity and betrayal. Stay with us until the end, because her hard-earned wisdom will not only help you understand the deeper layers of infidelity, but also empower you to find healing, self-love, and a path forward. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, I encourage you to click the subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on all our latest content. Your support means a lot, so if you find value in this video, please give it a thumbs up to help spread our message. I'm eager to hear your thoughts on today's topic. If you enjoy the content, please comment 1 below. If it doesn't resonate with you, leave a 0. Your feedback is crucial as it helps me create better videos that align with your interests. Now, let's get started. She begins with a truth many are too afraid to confront. Infidelity is more than just a betrayal of trust. It's a theft of the foundation upon which love is built. Through the years, she says with a heavy heart, I've seen how infidelity doesn't just break hearts. It shatters the very core of one's self-worth. Her voice is calm, but you can feel the weight of the emotions behind it. She isn't just speaking to you, she's reliving her own experiences, her own moments of deep pain and reflection. Men, she says thoughtfully, may cheat more often. It's a hard reality. But when women cheat, they often do so with such precision and subtlety that their partners may never even know. Her eyes reflect a lifetime of understanding as she continues. It's not about who cheats more, but about the devastating ripple effects those actions create. The moment lies are introduced into a relationship, everything changes. Trust, once the bedrock of love, becomes a fragile shell, easily cracked and impossible to fully repair. She pauses for a moment, and you can feel the depth of her empathy. Lies, she says, her voice soft but steady, are insidious. They plant seeds of doubt, and from those seeds grow endless questions. Did I ever really know this person? How much of what they said was true? A single lie can unravel years of love, leaving you grasping at straws, trying to make sense of something that no longer feels real. Her expression shifts as she speaks of betrayal in a way that cuts deeper than the act itself. What's worse, she says with sadness in her voice, is when they replace you. Not with someone better, more loving, or more deserving, but with someone easier. Someone who doesn't challenge them or hold them accountable. And they do it so quickly, so coldly, that you're left feeling discarded, as though all you were, all you gave, meant nothing. Her words are a balm and a warning, both tender and firm. She understands the hurt, but she also wants you to be strong. We reach an age, she continues, her voice growing stronger, where we no longer have the energy to explain to someone why their actions are hurtful. By this point in life, people should already have the maturity to understand what a serious relationship requires. If someone can't see the value in honesty, in being upfront and true, then they simply aren't worth your time. There's a fire in her eyes now, a sense of urgency that calls out to anyone who has ever been deceived. A real man, she says with conviction, will never hide behind lies. He will face the truth head-on, even when it's painful. That's what courage looks like, honesty in the face of discomfort. A coward, on the other hand, will weave a web of deceit, thinking that it protects him when, in reality, it only deepens the eventual pain for everyone involved. Her next words are a wake-up call, a plea to those who may be struggling with their own decisions. If you find yourself hiding your phone, concealing parts of your life from the one you claim to love, ask yourself this: what are you really protecting? Is it the relationship, or is it your own fear of being honest with yourself? Because if you must lie, if you must keep secrets, then you're not just deceiving your partner, you're deceiving yourself. Her gaze softens as she concludes, her words filled with both compassion and an almost motherly concern. Life is too short, too precious, to waste it on dishonesty. Relationships are sacred, and the moment you allow lies to enter, you strip them of that sanctity. You deserve more than that. You deserve truth, even if it hurts. And above all, you deserve someone who values you enough to be honest, no matter how hard it may be. She leaves you with a final, emotional thought. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough, like you're replaceable. You are worthy of love that is deep, honest, and enduring. And if someone can't give that to you, then they're the ones who have lost something precious, not you. With these heartfelt reflections, this wise woman hopes to empower you to recognize your worth and to never settle for less than you deserve. In her eyes, love without truth is not love at all. It's a charade, a fleeting illusion that will eventually crumble. Let her words serve as a guide, a reminder that you are worthy of authentic, real, and lasting love. If she was unfaithful, take a deep breath and thank her, not sarcastically, but with genuine gratitude. It might feel counterintuitive at first, but her infidelity is a blessing in disguise. She has shown you her true nature, and although it hurts, it's better to see that truth now rather than waste more time in a relationship built on lies. Her actions were never about you. They were a reflection of her own issues, her own struggles with honesty and commitment. Thank her because she's paved the way for something greater, someone who will truly value you and your worth. Life has a way of clearing out the wrong people to make room for those who deserve to stand beside you. And believe me, karma is real. It will catch up to her in ways you may never see, while you're busy moving forward to something more fulfilling, more honest, and more deserving of your love. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 1 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. One of the most important things you can do right now is to resist the urge to rush into another relationship. Jumping from one partner to the next without fully processing what went wrong shows that you lack self-love and self-respect. It's a form of emotional running, a way of avoiding the deeper work you need to do on yourself. Don't be afraid to face your feelings, to sit in the discomfort of being alone. Solitude isn't a curse, it's a blessing that gives you time to heal, to rediscover who you are, and to understand what you truly need from a relationship. So many people fear being single, but what they fail to realize is that being alone is infinitely better than being with someone who lies, cheats, and disrespects you. There's strength in solitude, a quiet power that comes from knowing you don't need someone else to complete you. You must find peace in your own company before you can fully give yourself to someone else. Being single isn't a waiting room for your next relationship. It's an opportunity to build a stronger, wiser version of yourself. Embrace that. Be comfortable in your own skin, find joy in your own routine, and fill your life with passions that have nothing to do with being in a relationship. Only then, when you truly love and respect yourself, can you enter a relationship that's grounded in mutual respect, trust, and love. And as for the people who deceive, the ones who spin webs of lies and expect you to believe them, let them go. Don't waste your time, your energy, or your mental health trying to reason with someone who believes their own lies. It's an exhausting and thankless task, trying to make someone see the truth when they've chosen to live in denial. Apologies from such people mean nothing if they continue to repeat the same harmful behavior. An apology without change is manipulation, plain and simple. People like that are not just ignorant, they are lost, choosing to live in a world of deceit because it's easier than facing their own flaws. You deserve better than that. One of the hardest lessons in love is understanding that not everything that tempts you is good for you. Don't leave the person you truly need, the one who supports you, who loves you, who stands by your side through thick and thin, for someone who simply excites you in the moment. The thrill of something new, whether it's physical or emotional, might seem irresistible, but is it really worth what you're giving up? The person you want today might not be the person you need tomorrow. It's easy to chase after excitement, to follow lust or the allure of something different, but you must ask yourself if what you're pursuing is truly worth more than what you're leaving behind. So many people chase after fleeting desires, only to realize too late that what they lost was irreplaceable. They get what they thought they wanted, only to find themselves empty, longing for what they discarded. It's one of life's cruel ironies. When you finally hold what you thought would make you happy, that's when you start to miss what you lost. Don't make that mistake. Don't let a temporary temptation make you throw away something that was built on real love, trust, and mutual respect. If she was unfaithful, let her go. Release her without anger, without bitterness, and with the understanding that you deserve far more than she could ever give you. She was never your equal, never someone who truly saw your worth. And that's okay, because now you're free to find someone who will love you the way you deserve to be loved. But before you jump into the next relationship, take the time to heal, to grow, and to reconnect with yourself. Don't rush the process. There's no timeline for healing, and there's no shame in taking time to be alone. In the end, relationships should lift you up, not tear you down. They should be built on a foundation of truth, mutual respect, and shared values. If someone can't give you that, then they don't deserve a place in your life. And if you ever find yourself in a position where you have to hide your phone, keep secrets, or lie to your partner, then ask yourself, what are you really protecting? Are you protecting the relationship, or are you protecting your own ego? Because if lies are involved, the relationship is already broken. Don't let anyone make you feel like you're not enough, like you're easily replaceable. You are deserving of love that's real, honest, and lasting. And if someone can't give you that, then they are the ones losing something precious, not you. So, thank her for showing you who she really is, and walk away with your head held high, knowing that something better is on the horizon. You deserve a love that's true, and it's waiting for you, once you're ready to receive it. If a man is unfaithful, it is rare that he will ever change by his own will. He might cry, beg for forgiveness, and make countless promises that he will never repeat the same mistake again. But deep down, a man who cheats is often trapped in a cycle of desire and impulse, a pattern of behavior that rarely alters without deep introspection and personal growth, something many are unwilling to commit to. Promises, in such cases, are just words, fleeting and easily broken. They may temporarily ease your pain, but they do nothing to fix the underlying issues. Men like this are often chasing something more than just physical satisfaction. It's about filling a void, seeking excitement, or feeding an ego that always craves more. And it's not just unfaithful men. Liars in general don't change on their own. They don't magically transform into honest people overnight. Instead, they evolve their tactics, become more cunning, more skilled at manipulation. They learn how to spin their lies better, to make them more believable. They get better at hiding their deceit, making it harder for you to see the cracks in their stories. Liars will modify their strategies to suit the situation, and before you know it, you're trapped in a web of their making. You might even find yourself doubting your own reality because these Pinocchios are everywhere, sometimes right next to you, smiling while they weave their tales. They could be your partner, your closest friend, or someone you deeply trust. But don't be fooled by their mask of innocence. The harshest betrayal never comes from your enemies. No, it cuts the deepest when it comes from those you once called friends. These are the people you opened your heart to, shared your secrets with, and relied on during tough times. That's why betrayal from a friend stings so much more. It blindsides you, shakes your faith in humanity, and leaves a scar that takes years to heal. This is why you must stay alert. Always be aware of shifts in behavior and energy. Listen to your gut when it tells you something is wrong, when it whispers that someone close to you may not be as loyal as they seem. Intuition is your best defense against betrayal. And here's the thing about liars. They have an extraordinary ability to twist reality in their favor. They'll make you feel like you're the one in the wrong, even when they are the ones who've shattered your trust. They'll manipulate your emotions, making you feel guilty for their mistakes. They'll paint themselves as the victim in their own story of lies. It's a maddening dance of hypocrisy and deceit, and before you know it, you're questioning yourself more than you're questioning them. These types of people, these Pinocchios, are clever, calculating, and skilled in the art of gaslighting. They'll make you believe you're the problem while they continue their charade behind your back. One of the cruelest experiences you can have is hearing the truth that's been laced with poison. These are truths spoken not to heal or to bring clarity, but to wound. Poison truths are far more dangerous than outright lies because they distort reality just enough to leave you confused, to make you question everything you thought you knew. Be wary of those who deliver truths with malice. They are more dangerous than the boldest of liars. It's important to guard your heart, to be cautious of who you let in and who you trust. Relationships are fragile, built on the delicate foundations of truth, trust, and respect. When those foundations are cracked by lies, everything crumbles. Men often can be unfaithful simply for the thrill of it, for the excitement of another woman. For them, sometimes, it's not about emotion but opportunity. Women, on the other hand, often seek deeper reasons, emotional voids, a sense of being neglected, or a need for connection. Though it's not always black and white, the motivations behind infidelity can vary. But one thing remains constant: the damage it causes is profound. Liars are often the biggest victims of their own schemes. They create such elaborate stories, such intricate webs of deceit, that they eventually get tangled in their own lies. They convince themselves that they are justified, that they are the ones who have been wronged, when in reality, they are the architects of their own downfall. Beware of those who try to be friends with everyone, for in trying to please everyone, they are loyal to no one. True friendship, true loyalty, requires standing firm in your beliefs, even when it's uncomfortable or inconvenient. People who are desperate to be liked by everyone will often betray you at the first sign of conflict, because they are more concerned with their image than with their integrity. And let's talk about one of the greatest forms of cowardice: awakening love in someone without any intention of returning that love. There's something deeply cruel about leading someone to believe that you care, making them feel special, only to discard them once their love becomes inconvenient. It's a kind of emotional manipulation that leaves deep wounds, scars that take a long time to heal. Those who play with the hearts of others, who dangle affection without sincerity, are some of the worst kinds of cowards. It's also important to remember that those who are quick to point out the flaws of others often have the dirtiest hands themselves. They project their own guilt and shortcomings onto others, hoping to deflect attention from their own misdeeds. It's a tactic as old as time: accuse others to hide your own sins. And it works too, because people are quick to judge, quick to accept a narrative if it makes sense on the surface. When a man is unfaithful, he often becomes a better lover, but not because he's rediscovered his passion for his wife. No, it's the thrill of the affair that reignites his desire, the excitement of deceit that fuels his actions. But this is no compliment. It's a sign of divided loyalty, of a man whose heart is not fully committed. When a woman cheats, it's often hidden, subtle, and rarely noticed. But when a man cheats, it's as if everyone knows. Infidelity leaves a mark on both the relationship and the people involved. Relationships are meant to be between two people, but some never seem to grasp that concept. They bring others into the equation, whether through cheating, emotional betrayal, or simply failing to honor the commitment they made. The pain this causes can be immeasurable, leaving emotional scars that take years, if not a lifetime, to heal. In the end, it all comes down to trust, honesty, and respect. Without these, a relationship is doomed to fail. Protect your heart, stay vigilant, and never settle for someone who can't honor the commitment they made to you. Life is too short to spend it with someone who doesn't know how to count to two. You are unique. No one else comes close. No one could ever match what you bring to the table. You were never just another option, yet here we are, facing the ultimate betrayal. The truth is, when someone chooses to be unfaithful, they've already made a decision that has nothing to do with love. They've chosen to satisfy their fleeting desires rather than honor their commitment. If things weren't working, why not walk away? Why not choose honesty and have the courage to say, "This isn't working"? We live in a world where the word breakup exists for a reason. If you don't have the heart to stay true, at least have the decency to end things before dragging someone else through the mud. Infidelity is not an accident. It is never a simple slip or mistake. It is a deliberate, conscious choice to betray trust. It's a calculated decision to put someone else's needs or desires above the one person you vowed to stay loyal to. Just like a dog that always returns to its true owner, no matter how well the neighbor treats it, love and loyalty should be unwavering. But some people are easily swayed, their loyalties are weak, and they chase after whatever fleeting thrill comes their way, forgetting the bond that once meant everything. What's even more infuriating is the hypocrisy. The same people who fill their social media feeds with heartwarming love messages, publicly declaring their affection, are often the ones hiding behind a mask of lies. They craft a facade, making the world believe in a fairy tale while living a double life. These people were the biggest horns of infidelity, parading around as though nothing is wrong, while betraying the person who loves them most. And here's the brutal truth. It's never the third person's fault entirely. No one can come between two people unless one of them allows it. If there's an opening for betrayal, it's because someone invited it in. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 2 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. Today, the pain is unbearable. The hurt stings like a fresh wound, and it feels as though your heart will never recover. But let me tell you, tomorrow, you will be nothing more than a memory. The person who caused you this pain will fade into the past, and their betrayal will no longer define you. You might have broken my heart, but you didn't break my spirit or my future. We could have achieved so much together, could have built a life that was full of love, trust, and mutual respect. But you threw it all away for the cheap thrill of infidelity. Love can weather many storms, but infidelity? It is a storm that leaves destruction in its wake, killing whatever love was left. Being unfaithful is not just about physical acts, it's about emotional betrayal. It's about breaking the trust that was built over time. It's about shattering the foundation of what could have been an extraordinary relationship. Infidelity doesn't happen by accident. It's not something that just happens. It's a series of choices, each one more deliberate than the last, that lead to betrayal. And sometimes, the heart takes longer to realize what the mind already knows. The signs are often there, but the heart holds on, hoping for change, hoping that the betrayal will stop. But deep down, the mind knows the truth. It always does. Don't ever let someone treat you as an option while you treat them as a priority. If they've chosen to betray you, they've already shown that you're not their number one. And you deserve more than that. You deserve someone who sees your worth, who cherishes it, and who wouldn't dream of jeopardizing it. Infidelity is not just a minor mistake or a lapse in judgment. It's a complete disregard for the person who trusted you the most. A single moment of brutal honesty is worth more than a lifetime of hypocrisy. Yet, some people will look you in the eye, say I love you, all while their mouths are full of lies. Infidelity doesn't just break hearts, it destroys the very fabric of trust that holds a relationship together. It destabilizes everything, leaving the person who was betrayed to pick up the pieces, questioning their worth, their trust, and their ability to ever believe in love again. The pain of infidelity isn't just about the act itself. It's about the emotional turmoil it leaves behind, the constant questioning of why, and what did I do wrong? But the truth is, the fault lies not with the one who was betrayed, but with the one who couldn't honor their commitment. Preventing infidelity is possible, but it requires constant, open, and honest communication. It requires both partners to be vulnerable, to express their needs, and to truly listen to each other. When one partner's emotional or physical needs go unmet, cracks begin to form in the relationship. And if those cracks aren't addressed, infidelity can sneak in and tear everything apart. But healing from betrayal? That's a different story. It takes time, patience, and a willingness to work through the pain. Forgiveness may come, but trust is much harder to rebuild. It's a long, uphill battle, and not everyone is capable of making it to the other side. It's also important to remember that infidelity isn't a problem exclusive to one gender. Both men and women are capable of betrayal. Both can make the choice to cheat when they feel their needs aren't being met, or when they're tempted by someone new. Infidelity knows no gender boundaries. It is a human flaw, driven by desire, unmet expectations, and often, selfishness. But here's the thing. Relationships that are built on a strong foundation of mutual respect, trust, and open communication are far less likely to fall victim to infidelity. When two people are truly invested in each other, when they make the effort to meet each other's needs, infidelity isn't even an option. At the end of the day, infidelity isn't just about the physical act of cheating. It's about a fundamental betrayal of trust, a disregard for the bond between two people. It's about choosing selfishness over loyalty, and the pain it causes goes far deeper than most realize. The scars of infidelity run deep, and they don't heal overnight. But the person who was betrayed, they will rise again, stronger, wiser, and more determined to find someone who values them for who they are. So to those who choose infidelity, know this: you might have won a moment of pleasure, but you lost something far greater. You lost trust, love, and the chance at a real, meaningful relationship. And in the end, you'll realize that what you gained was fleeting, while what you lost was priceless. Fidelity isn't merely about remaining physically faithful. It goes much deeper than that. It's about being emotionally loyal, about showing up for your partner in every way that matters. True fidelity means being fully committed, not just to the idea of your relationship, but to the work it takes to keep it thriving. Preventing infidelity isn't a passive act. It requires you to be proactive, investing time, energy, and care into the relationship. The moment you stop tending to it is the moment cracks begin to form, and those cracks can grow into chasms of distrust. Trust is fragile, a delicate thread woven over time, and it can be unraveled in a single moment of betrayal. Rebuilding it after infidelity can feel like an impossible task. People often believe that fidelity is about avoiding physical betrayal, but emotional loyalty is just as crucial, if not more. A relationship isn't just a contract to be sexually exclusive. It's a promise to be emotionally available and devoted. And when infidelity occurs, it isn't always about physical attraction or lust. It's often about emotional needs that have been neglected, unspoken desires that were never addressed, or feelings of disconnection that went unnoticed. If your partner feels emotionally abandoned, infidelity, whether emotional or physical, can creep into the relationship, shaking its very foundation. There are so many myths and misconceptions about infidelity that cloud our understanding of why it happens. Some may think that certain behaviors or preferences, like a woman's sexual habits or a man's interest in certain activities, can predict unfaithfulness. But these shallow stereotypes do more harm than good. Infidelity isn't about surface-level characteristics. It's about deeper emotional needs that go unmet, wounds that fester, and people who feel unseen or unheard in their relationships. The reality is, infidelity isn't a simple issue with an easy solution. It's a complex, multi-layered challenge that stems from deeper cracks in the relationship. When infidelity strikes, it's like a bomb going off in the middle of a carefully constructed life. It doesn't just break hearts, it destroys the trust that was painstakingly built, often over years, and leaves both partners in a state of emotional ruin. Whether it's physical infidelity or an emotional affair, the betrayal cuts deep, and the healing process is long and painful. It leaves scars that sometimes never fully heal, even with forgiveness. The emotional damage runs so deep that it can cause one partner to question everything: their worth, their place in the relationship, and even their sense of self. But it's important not to look at infidelity only through the lens of destruction. Yes, it can tear apart relationships, but it can also serve as a powerful opportunity for reflection. Often, infidelity is a symptom of deeper problems within the relationship. Maybe one partner feels unloved, unappreciated, or neglected. Maybe they've lost their sense of connection. It's crucial to recognize that infidelity is not always a straightforward, intentional act of betrayal. Sometimes, it's a cry for help, a sign that something in the relationship is broken and needs fixing. This doesn't excuse the behavior, but understanding the root cause can help both partners move forward. The aftermath of infidelity is brutal. The pain is raw, and the trust that was once so solid feels shattered beyond repair. But here's the thing: infidelity isn't always the end of the road. For some couples, it can be the beginning of a new, more honest chapter. It's an opportunity to confront the problems that have been ignored or avoided for too long. But this requires brutal honesty from both sides. The partner who was unfaithful must own up to their mistakes without excuses. They must be willing to be vulnerable and address the reasons behind their actions. The betrayed partner, on the other hand, must be open to hearing these reasons, as painful as they may be, if there is to be any hope of reconciliation. Healing after infidelity takes time, more time than most people realize. It's not just about saying, "I forgive you," and moving on. It's about rebuilding trust from the ground up, brick by brick. And it's about re-establishing a connection that may have been lost long before the infidelity occurred. Both partners have to be committed to the process of healing, which can be exhausting, painful, and filled with setbacks. But for those who truly want to make it work, it can lead to a stronger, more resilient relationship. One of the most common misconceptions is that infidelity is a problem exclusive to one gender. This simply isn't true. Both men and women are capable of betrayal, and both are susceptible to the temptations that arise when emotional or physical needs aren't being met. Infidelity isn't about gender, it's about the dynamics of the relationship itself. When someone feels unseen, unloved, or undervalued, they are more likely to stray. And when emotional intimacy fades, when communication breaks down, it opens the door for infidelity to creep in. So, what can be done to prevent infidelity? The answer lies in open, honest, and ongoing communication. Too often, couples fall into a routine where they stop talking about their needs, desires, and feelings. They assume that their partner knows what they want or how they feel, and over time, this silence creates distance. Needs go unmet, feelings of resentment grow, and eventually, someone seeks out what they're missing elsewhere. But this can be avoided. If both partners are committed to talking openly about their desires, their insecurities, and their needs, without fear of judgment, the relationship stands a much better chance of surviving the trials that life throws at it. Preventing infidelity also requires both partners to be emotionally invested in the relationship. It's about showing up for each other every day, not just when it's convenient or easy. It's about prioritizing the relationship even when life gets busy, stressful, or overwhelming. Relationships require work, constant, ongoing effort. They need to be nurtured, just like anything else in life. You can't neglect your relationship and expect it to flourish. It needs attention, care, and a willingness to grow together, not apart. In the end, fidelity is about much more than simply not cheating. It's about emotional loyalty, respect, and a shared commitment to weather the storms together. Relationships built on mutual trust, open communication, and deep emotional connection are less likely to be affected by infidelity. But even when betrayal happens, it doesn't have to mean the end. It can be a wake-up call, a chance to rebuild, and an opportunity to create something even stronger than before. But it takes two people who are willing to face the pain, do the hard work, and recommit to each other every single day. Infidelity is often misunderstood, with many believing it is solely about physical acts. However, infidelity extends far beyond that. It encompasses emotional betrayal, which, in some cases, can be even more devastating than physical infidelity. Emotional betrayal occurs when one partner shares their deepest thoughts, vulnerabilities, and emotions with someone outside the relationship. It's an unseen act, one that doesn't involve touch but is equally, if not more, damaging. The emotional connection that should exist between partners becomes weakened when one person diverts their affection, attention, and emotional energy to someone else. This betrayal undermines the core of trust, creating a deep fracture in the foundation of the relationship, one that can take years to heal, if it ever does. The pain of emotional infidelity runs deep because it shakes the very roots of what a relationship is built upon: intimacy, connection, and mutual support. While physical cheating is often seen as a clear violation, emotional infidelity is more insidious. It grows slowly, often unnoticed, until the betrayed partner begins to feel neglected, unloved, and disconnected. When a person begins to seek emotional validation and connection outside the relationship, it signifies a breach of trust and respect that is harder to pinpoint but just as destructive. In many ways, emotional infidelity feels like a more profound abandonment because it involves the sharing of things that were once sacred between two people, their deepest fears, hopes, and dreams. A truly healthy and lasting relationship isn't just built on love alone. It requires mutual respect, openness, and ongoing communication. These are the pillars that sustain a bond over time. Mutual respect ensures that both partners feel valued and honored, while open communication allows them to address any issues before they spiral into something larger. When both individuals in the relationship are committed to understanding and fulfilling each other's needs, both emotional and physical, the risk of betrayal diminishes significantly. Relationships are a constant work in progress, and it's only through active listening, empathy, and openness that the partnership can withstand the test of time and avoid the pitfalls of infidelity. But even in the strongest of relationships, infidelity can still creep in. Life is unpredictable, and circumstances sometimes lead one or both partners to feel disconnected or unfulfilled, even if the love is still present. This is where communication plays its most vital role. Partners must be able to talk about their feelings of dissatisfaction or disconnection before they seek solace elsewhere. Too often, people feel unheard or unimportant in their relationships, which leads them to look outside for validation and emotional connection. By prioritizing regular, honest conversations about the state of the relationship, couples can work through the small cracks before they become irreparable fractures. Infidelity, whether emotional or physical, leaves deep scars, and the aftermath is rarely easy to navigate. The trust that took years to build can be shattered in an instant, leaving both partners to wonder if recovery is even possible. Forgiveness, in such cases, becomes a critical part of the healing process. But forgiveness is not simple, nor is it quick. It's a deeply personal journey that requires time, patience, and immense emotional effort. Forgiveness isn't about brushing the betrayal under the rug. It's about processing the pain, understanding the reasons behind the infidelity, and deciding whether or not to rebuild the relationship. For many, the idea of forgiveness feels impossible in the wake of betrayal. The hurt runs too deep, and the thought of trusting the person who caused the pain again seems unthinkable. But for others, forgiveness becomes the path to personal freedom. It's about releasing the anger and bitterness that can consume a person after betrayal. It's about reclaiming their emotional health and choosing to move forward, whether that's within the relationship or on their own. Forgiveness doesn't necessarily mean reconciliation, but it does allow for emotional healing. Healing from infidelity, whether the relationship continues or not, requires commitment from both sides. The unfaithful partner must be willing to confront the reasons behind their actions and demonstrate genuine remorse. They need to take accountability for the pain they caused and commit to making amends. This might mean going to therapy, learning to communicate more openly, or taking the necessary steps to rebuild trust. On the other hand, the betrayed partner must decide if they are willing to give their partner another chance, and if they can envision a future where trust can be rebuilt. The road to recovery is long and fraught with challenges. It's not simply a matter of saying, "I'm sorry," and moving on. It requires a deep level of introspection, hard conversations, and a willingness to work through the pain. Both partners must be fully invested in this process if they hope to rebuild the relationship. And even then, the scars of infidelity often remain. Trust, once broken, is never fully restored to its original state. It's like a shattered vase, painstakingly glued back together, but the cracks are still visible. The strength of the relationship moving forward depends on the ability to accept those cracks and work around them. It's also crucial to acknowledge that infidelity is not a problem exclusive to one gender. Both men and women are equally capable of emotional and physical betrayal. The reasons behind infidelity vary from person to person, but at the core, it often stems from unmet needs, whether emotional, physical, or psychological. Some people cheat because they feel neglected, others because they're seeking excitement or validation outside their relationship. But infidelity, regardless of its motivation, reflects a deeper issue within the relationship that needs addressing. Preventing infidelity is not about controlling or policing each other's behavior. It's about fostering an environment of openness, where both partners feel safe to express their needs, frustrations, and desires. It's about creating a relationship where honesty is valued over secrecy, and where difficult conversations are approached with love and respect. Emotional infidelity often begins in silence, in the things that go unsaid, the needs that remain unspoken. But when couples make the effort to communicate openly and vulnerably, they create a space where both partners feel understood and valued, reducing the temptation to seek emotional connection elsewhere. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment number 3 below to let me know that you are still watching this video with me. In the end, fidelity isn't just about avoiding infidelity. It's about being present in the relationship, emotionally and physically. It's about showing up for your partner every day, choosing them, and choosing the relationship even when things are difficult. True fidelity is a reflection of deep emotional investment, mutual respect, and a commitment to weathering life's storms together. When both partners are equally dedicated to this ideal, the relationship becomes resilient, capable of withstanding the challenges that inevitably arise, and far less susceptible to the devastating effects of infidelity. In the aftermath of infidelity, there exists a possibility, however difficult and rare, that some relationships may come out stronger than before. But this potential for growth is only unlocked when both partners are willing to confront the painful truths, address the root causes of the betrayal, and fully commit to the difficult path of healing. Infidelity doesn't just happen because of a single moment of weakness or temptation. It often points to deeper, unresolved issues in the relationship. Whether it's emotional neglect, a lack of communication, unmet needs, or growing distance, these problems don't vanish overnight. They must be faced head-on if the relationship is to survive and eventually thrive after such a profound breach of trust. For any chance of recovery, both partners need to reflect on their mistakes, be honest about their vulnerabilities, and engage in open, difficult conversations. Only with this level of commitment can trust be rebuilt from the ashes of betrayal. But being faithful isn't just about avoiding physical infidelity, it's so much more than that. Real faithfulness is about emotional presence, about being truly there for your partner in every meaningful way. It means not just staying loyal in body, but also in heart and mind. True commitment requires a deep emotional investment in the relationship. It's about showing up for each other every day, even when life gets tough, and making sure that your partner feels valued, respected, and loved in all the ways that matter. Infidelity is often a symptom of emotional disconnection. When one partner feels neglected, taken for granted, or emotionally distant, they may seek comfort, attention, or validation outside the relationship. Being faithful is not only about resisting the temptations that come from outside, but about cultivating a relationship that feels so emotionally fulfilling that those temptations don't even have room to grow. A committed relationship is built on much more than just love. Love, while essential, is not enough on its own. Respect, communication, and mutual understanding are the pillars that hold everything together. When you respect your partner, you honor their emotional and physical needs. When you communicate openly, you create an environment where problems can be addressed before they escalate. And when you deeply understand your partner's feelings, desires, and fears, you forge a bond that is incredibly difficult to break. Infidelity, in many cases, creeps in when these pillars begin to weaken. When partners stop talking, stop making each other feel seen, and stop working to maintain their connection, cracks form in the relationship. Those cracks, if left unattended, can lead to betrayal. But when both partners are proactive in nurturing the relationship, ensuring that each other's needs are met, and staying emotionally present, the likelihood of infidelity decreases dramatically. That said, even the most devoted couples can sometimes find themselves on the brink of infidelity. It's not always about a lack of love. Sometimes, it's about unresolved personal issues, stress, or life changes that cause one partner to feel lost or disconnected. This is why communication is so critical. If one person in the relationship feels neglected or emotionally unfulfilled, it's essential that they speak up before things spiral out of control. Too often, people avoid having those hard conversations because they don't want to rock the boat or because they fear vulnerability. But these are exactly the kinds of conversations that can prevent infidelity and strengthen the relationship in the long run. When infidelity does happen, the pain is deep and all-consuming. It shakes the very foundation of trust, leaving both partners reeling from the aftermath. The betrayed partner often feels a complex mix of emotions: anger, sadness, confusion, and a profound sense of betrayal. The person who was unfaithful may feel guilt, shame, and regret, but no matter what emotions arise, the road to recovery is long and difficult. Forgiveness becomes a key part of this healing process, but forgiveness is not something that can be rushed or forced. It is not a simple act, nor is it a one-time decision. Forgiveness is a journey, one that takes time, emotional labor, and most importantly, commitment from both sides to work toward rebuilding trust. Forgiveness doesn't mean excusing the betrayal or pretending that everything can go back to how it was. In fact, things may never be the same again, and that's okay. The goal isn't to return to the old version of the relationship, but to build something new, something stronger, more honest, and more resilient. For forgiveness to be possible, both partners must be willing to engage in deep introspection. The one who betrayed must acknowledge their actions, understand the pain they've caused, and demonstrate genuine remorse. They must also be willing to work tirelessly to regain trust, which is a process that can take months or even years. The betrayed partner, on the other hand, must decide whether they are capable of forgiving and whether they want to continue the relationship. For the person who was hurt by infidelity, healing is a deeply personal and often painful journey. The betrayal can leave emotional scars that feel impossible to heal, but it's important to remember that while infidelity may shape part of your story, it does not define your worth or your future. The pain you feel now is not permanent, though it may feel all-consuming. Moving forward requires a great deal of self-love, acceptance, and the courage to believe that you deserve better. Healing doesn't mean pretending the betrayal didn't happen. It means processing the pain, learning from the experience, and allowing yourself the grace to grow beyond it. One of the most important steps in moving forward is recognizing that your value is not tied to someone else's choices. Infidelity is a reflection of the betrayer's decisions, insecurities, and shortcomings. It has nothing to do with your worth as a person. In the aftermath of infidelity, it's easy to question your self-worth, to wonder what you could have done differently, or to blame yourself for the betrayal. But these thoughts are not productive, and they are not rooted in truth. You deserve a relationship that is grounded in mutual respect, trust, and love. You deserve a partner who is committed to you, not just in body, but in mind and heart as well. Healing after infidelity may mean staying and rebuilding the relationship, or it may mean choosing to walk away. Both paths are valid, and both require incredible strength. If you choose to stay, it's essential that both partners commit to rebuilding trust and working through the pain together. If you choose to leave, know that you are not walking away from love, but rather from a situation that no longer serves you. Either way, the path forward involves deep reflection, the willingness to prioritize your emotional well-being, and the belief that you are deserving of a relationship that is fulfilling, respectful, and faithful. In the end, infidelity can be a turning point in any relationship, either a moment that leads to its end or a catalyst for transformation and growth. What's most important is that both partners are honest with themselves and each other about what they want moving forward. Whether that means working to rebuild or choosing to part ways, the healing process ultimately leads to greater self-awareness and personal growth. You will emerge stronger, more self-assured, and ready for the healthy, trusting relationship you truly deserve. So, what have you learned so far? What is one key takeaway from this woman's story that you will bring into practice in your own life? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your insight could help someone else on their journey. If you like this video, please leave your comment, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more thought-provoking and empowering content.